Hey family, I just want to check in real quick. Um, there's a message that I want to share with many of you. For those of you who are truly the spiritual path, um, remember everybody experiences are different. Let me just say that. And you know, I noticed that many of you're not having any kind of experiences. For the most part, many of you are. They're just different experiences, and that's fine. That's wonderful. Always rejoice in the little things that will, activate as far as you having more experiences. But one must be grateful for the little things. Now, many of you I consider maybe private individuals, shall I say. And a private person to me is someone that doesn't put their business on Fifth Street, if you know what I mean. You watch your words very carefully. And you just keeps a lot to yourself, especially when it comes to social media. And if you do join a group, you're still not going to want those that are not part of the group, those that are outside of, you know, um, your so-called, soul group circle. You're not going to want them to know what's going on with you. And a good example is, for instance, many of you watch me, and I notice many of you don't even hit like, but you watch me. You have your reasons, okay? I'm just glad that you decided to watch. But another reason can be maybe many of you feel like, I don't want nobody to know that I'm into these, type of topics or conversations. Many of you, when it comes to what you watch, what you look at, you might have that when it comes to the settings. You might have it to where people can see, what you're looking at. And many of you might have it private. Um, if that's the case, I can see why, many of you, for those who don't have their settings as private, um, wouldn't want others, to know what you're into. Let me just say that. But this is a non-judging zone. Um, it's just something that I thought about, as far as, I have many, many people watching me from all over. And even though it's a small select group of you, and I love you and I appreciate you, I have to really look at the big picture. Everybody just don't want people to know, what's going on with them. Many of you don't even share my content, and it could really go far, like on Facebook, other social platforms. But like I said, many of you probably just don't want people to know what you're into or where you are, in your spiritual walk. So with that being said, okay, I get it. Now, there's a small select few are just agents, okay? That comes with this, okay? It is what it is. But anyway, I thank you all for taking the time to watch regardless, okay? Thank you for watching. Many of you have not had a breakthrough moment. And what I mean by that, when I'm on here, I'm always talking about, meditate, meditate, meditate. And it's not just me. Anyone that consider themselves as being spiritual and, they are at a level to where they're having experiences and, they have a platform and they're talking about it. And not only are they talking about it, they're sharing, information with others. You know, um, for the most part, everybody is pretty much saying the same thing over and over and over. Meditate, meditate. Shut this world off. Meditate, because that's where your answer's at. I appreciate maybe you watching me, but just the same, I would suggest many of you to take whatever I'm saying and go within yourself and seek your own truth. Because like I said, everybody's experiences are different. And, many of you are going to resonate with me because you've seen the things that I've seen. You can relate. And many of you will eventually see the things that I'm saying. Let me just say that, okay? Like I always say, I didn't get here yesterday. There were people that I watched way before I, started seeing the things that I was seeing, and I was checking them out, and I was intrigued. You know, they had my full attention, and I was having my own experiences, but I still was not able to relate to them 100. Hell, I say at least, you know, 60%. I was not able to relate to, where they were at their spiritual growth. Let me just say that everybody's in different levels, and that's okay. The main thing, you're making an effort, okay? You're seeking that hidden treasure that's within you. But it's so important, family, to meditate. You're shutting this world off. It's just you and God. You're going through yourself. And while you're in meditation, it helps you to get focused. It helps you to tap in. You're learning to master yourself, your mental, and tell this mind to shut up, because it's going to be constant clutter while you're in that meditative state. It's always going to be something going on up here. And the more you try to be in that state and be focused, something's going to come to your mind. You're going to start thinking about things. And you have to reel it to your mind to shut up. Like, no, not right now. Be quiet. Be still. You pretty much have to train your mental, okay? Your thoughts. That chitter chatter that's constantly going on while you're in meditation. You need to be still and just get to that place to where you're not thinking at all. Now, here is one suggestion. There are many suggestions, but here is one that I would suggest to many of you while you are in that meditative state. Visualize yourself while you're in the darkness, and that's a good place, okay? Darkness is not always bad. I know due to Hollywood, they programming the masses, trying to get us to look at certain things as negative, but darkness is not bad, okay? One must go into the darkness to bring their light out. And even when that light is shining within you, you're still in darkness. You're just able to see because you're lighting up. And God that's within you, that light, will start to expand. So you can't help but see within you. Now, many of you who are not seeing anything at all, and you're just in pure darkness, it doesn't mean that God is not with you, nor within you. It is a rare jewel that you have to search for, but it's inside of you, okay? If you want it bad enough and you're seeking it bad enough, this inner lamp within you will show up. I'll suggest you set your attentions, you're seeking your inner lamp. And while you're seeking it, visualize expanding it. Now, here's my ultimate suggestion, family. I would suggest many of you, to visualize yourself while you're in darkness, that you are on top of a step, okay? A huge, tall step. And there are 100 steps, but you're at the top. You're at the top of these steps. There are 100. And visualize yourself walking backwards. Well, let me say this, stepping backwards. And as you're taking one step at a time backwards, be setting your attention, expanding your lamp, okay? Expanding your inner lamp so you can see. But the whole time you're in the darkness, okay? And remember, that's okay. Now, while you take each step at a time, like I said, you want to quiet the mind, okay? I'm not telling you to, be thinking to yourself, spend my light, spend my inner lamp, expand my inner lamp as you take a step back. No, set your attentions first before you start this process. All you're doing is visualizing yourself at the top of the steps, and you have to go down each step, and then there are 100. Start at 100 and keep going down the steps subtracting until you get to 1. Take 1 step back with your eyes closed, because you are in darkness anyway. And as you go down each step, keep visualizing your space, okay? The space that you're in lighting up. Because see, this light is your inner lamp. Keep taking 1 step at a time, going back. But you must, I'm not going to say you must, I'm giving you a suggestion. Go back at least 100. I'm sorry, from 100 to 1, okay? Start at 100 and stop at the bottom of the steps, which would be your last step, which would be 1, okay? And hopefully this will help many of you to focus, okay? And it will cut a lot of the chitter chatter that's going on inside of you. Because for many of you, you're thinking about tomorrow, you're thinking about next week, you're thinking about, what I'm going to do, next month. That's how the mind is. It starts chitter chattering. You start thinking about what happened, when you had an argument with your spouse or with your significant other, or, you ain't heard from the person in a while, that person on your mind. The mind, please, it's nothing but distraction. You will end up having a lot of chitter chatter going on in your head. But it is for you to control it. And if you don't want to use the method that I'm talking about, use your own methods. But basically, you want to quiet the mind. All I'm telling you to do is visualize walking backwards, going down the steps, okay? And really, I know I said 100, but I feel like this is going to have your mind, you might be in your voice, okay? But I feel like it's going to have your mind like saying, 100, 99. And really, you don't want that either. So what I'm going to say is, just visualize yourself going down some steps, okay? When you feel like stopping, you stop. But you need to get to that place of eventually seeing something. For many of you, it might be a pin dot light. For many of you, it might be a light at the distance that's moving towards you. Like for many of you, that light might be just still, but it's way at a distance, but it's not moving. Okay, for many of you, you might see a light at the distance and it's moving towards you, and it's moving towards you like a spiral, and it's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. For many of you, you might not see that. For many of you, you might see colors. That's right. You will start to see colors even when your eyes are closed, even when you are in the darkness, you will see colors. It's amazing, the colors you will see. But you will see them inside of you. Yes, indeed. For many of you, you might see numbers. Family, the main thing is you're seeing something other than you just sitting there in the darkness. It's all about mastering yourself. It's not going to happen just like this, especially if this is something that you're not used to seeing. But you must be diligent and seek it. Okay, seek it. The Bible says, seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Seek it. Okay? This jewel that the word talks about, that's priceless. Many are not seeking it. And this inner lamp of yours, you need to really, take care of it and keep oil in it as well. Now, you know how people talk about, sowing seeds? Well, there are all kind of ways of sowing seeds. It's not just money. Yeah, you can sow seeds to people, when it comes to money. Especially when you're doing it for all the right reasons and you have good intentions towards the individual. You want to help them, whatever the case may be. A short act of kindness, sowing the seed financially. But there are other seeds also. There's the seed of the act of kindness. Just being nice to somebody. Letting somebody over while you're driving. Okay? Letting somebody out while you're at a stop sign especially if it's one of those, well, for instance, if you're blocking somebody, all right, and you're like, well, I got the right of way, they just got to wait, but you decide to bag up, and let somebody out so they can, go past you and go around and, but you're not blocking them. They're all kind of acts of kindness, you know. Um, the act of kindness really goes a long way. Please know that there are people that sow seeds to people financially, and they're not doing it for the right reasons. A lot of people do it to control you. And hell, they feel like they own you because they sold seed to you. Or, they gave you some money, but really their heart was not really in it. Because if it was, you would be expecting anything back in return. Only, for the grace of God to continue to bless you and to keep you. And in due season, he will magnify that blessing, or multiply it, shall I say. But anyway, there are all kinds of active, sowing seeds, okay? It's not just money. When you appreciate somebody, you might be like, well, you know what? I really appreciate this person. I learned a lot from this person. My money's kind of funny, but I'm going to show my, act of gratitude by liking the channel. That's sowing the seed. See, it's the little things that you do that mean so much. Everything's not all about money. The act of kindness goes a long way. But when you are operating in kindness and sowing the seed in kindness, family, that alone will keep oil in your lamp, okay? Because for one thing, you're in your heart space. Your heart chakra is open. Your thoughts are positive. You're thinking about somebody other than yourself. That alone will keep oil in your lamp. And when you go within yourself, each time you go within yourself, and you keep practicing this method, you're going to see a big change. After a while, you're going to start seeing some things, okay? And I'm going to leave this video up. For many of you who understand what I'm talking about, feel free to leave your comment down below. Let me know what you've been trying, or, what's been working for you, or what hasn't been working for you. But one must make an effort. When I go within myself, I'm seeing something, okay? My spiritual sight is awakened. I'm always seeing something. Hell, I'm seeing something when my eyes are open, because I'm open to the spirit realm. I'm always seeing something. So you better believe I'm going to practice, sowing seeds of love and kindness, because I want to receive that back in return. And also, I want to see good things. I left that part out. You definitely want to see good things. So if many of you, whose spiritual sight is awakened, and you're seeing a lot of things that bother you, you don't like what you see, well, I would suggest you work on yourself, work on your thoughts, renew your mind, make the slight adjustment, and get back on track when it comes to your thinking, and definitely work on your heart, because you want your heart open, family. Now, for those of you that will get to that place of seeing these spiritual doors open up to you, and there are many, let me just say that, and one of them is that spiral, because that was the first, let me see, I think that was the second one that I saw. But one of them was the spiral that I mentioned to many of you in some past readings that I was seeing. This spiral that had showed up to me. It was a pin dot light, and it got closer to me. The more it got closer to me, it would look like a spiral, black and white, black and white. It was just spiraling. And then from there, I started seeing those light beams coming out of the spiral. But it is too a portal, a spiritual portal. But when you go through yourself, family, at the end of the day, you would learn things about yourself. You would tap into the Akashic records. And the Akashic records can mean many things to many people. To many people, it's like they are at some kind of library, okay? And it looks like an open, spacious building that has tall ceilings, cathedral-looking ceilings, and you see all these books. And I've seen this also for myself. But for many people, you would see this. For many of you, you would see flashes of images, okay? Like you're looking at a projector. And I've mentioned this also in the past. I've seen this also. That's another form of the Akasha records. What you see are your past lives, okay? You've seen a lot of images, and they're just flashing before you. You've seen a lot of that. And you can, tell it to slow down. Everything is telepathically when you are, tapping into the spirit. So there is no, whatever you see, there is no just right here. You just know. You just know what's going on. And for some of you, you may have the gift of just hearing. You may be hearing what they're saying, but it's like it's in your head, a voice. Now, what it's going to be for you is what it's going to be for you. But you are coming to this inner knowing about things that you have not read in a book. When you're seeking the truth about something, like you're watching me and you're going to your higher self, and you're tapping in and you take your intentions. I want to know what this sister is saying. It's the truth. If it is, show me. You will get those answers. You may not get them right away, but you're going to get them because your inner man is going to show you something, okay? But it's definitely going to be showing you a lot about yourself. Those past lives of yours. Many of you have been other races. Yeah, that's right. I said that. But we're out here hating on each other. Yeah. That's right. Many of you have been other races. Many of you have been other beings. Many of you have been other creatures in the past life. Many of you are old souls. Many of you, well, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I'm thinking about myself now, the things that I have seen. But you're going to see a lot of things. Like I said, things that you have not read in books. But you might end up coming across a book that's speaking on the things that you have seen. Yes, indeed. Yeah, you're definitely going to see that. And it's going to blow your mind. You're like, wow, I saw it in the sight of myself. I can't believe it. And here I am reading it in a book. Or here I am seeing these images that are in this book. That's right. You're going to see a lot of things, family. And then you know what? It's going to be your truth. And can't nobody take it from you. Can't nobody take it from you. So when it comes to the Akasha records, like I said, for many of you, it's going to seem like, you're in this building and you're coming across these books. And for many of you, it's going to be like you're walking down the hallway, but you won't feel yourself walking. You'll be moving down this corridor, but it's a hallway, and you're going to come across this. Oh, sorry. And you're going to come across what looks like, some kind of platform that has a book on top. And the book's going to be already open, okay? And for some of you, the book's going to be closed, but it's going to open up to you, and the pages are going to look like, the word's going to have like light shooting out of it, okay? But your inner man knows what those words are saying. It's pretty much you receiving downloads, okay, when you're going through yourself also. So it's a lot to it, family. And but at the end of the day, I got to go. But just take your time, when it comes to this. There's no rush. But definitely make time for yourself and meditate. It is so essential for such a time that we're living in right now. Get your truth, family. Get your truth. I love you. Peace and bye for now.